Welcome back to another edition of the Pitch Putt and Puff podcast. My name is Roger, aka RGB. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Before we get rolling tonight, I just want to take a quick second and give a shout out to our sponsor, 420 Bliss, located on 740 Hoosick Road in Troy, New York. Tonight, though, we're going to get back into the golf world into it with some custom gear for pretty much every golfer, especially the sneakerheads out there. Tonight, I'm introducing Kai from TeeTimeLeather. Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks, Roger. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate your time. Why don't you tell us a little bit about TeeTimeLeather and how you got into it and how you got started?
For sure. So I've been making leather goods for about 10 years now. Started off making, wallets, keychains and stuff for family and friends. I used to be a wedding photographer and videographer, so I used to make the little harnesses to hold your
Yep.
cameras.
Yep.
But the business never really took off. I didn't really have a niche. I didn't really have anything that I could call mine and grow it until I started golfing. And I've only been golfing for about a year and a half, but the bug has definitely got me. And the way it started with me and combining golfing and leather, I'm a new golfer. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a hack. I'm not good. I'm
Yep.
out there, worrying about swing thoughts and stuff like that. Um, I would be digging around in my pocket for tees, looking for divot tools, ball markers. And then one day I was just like, hey, there has to be a solution for this. So I made my first prototype, took it out on the course, and it helped me, it helped take one thing off of my mind to help me focus on the game. And
Right.
then I was like, I got something here. And then I just started, kind of refining it. And then I was like, I'm a sneakerhead, I love sneakers. I love Jordans. I was like, let me get some elephant print up in here, and then I made that and I was like, yo, this is it. This is the one here.
Yep.
And yeah, that's been the start of the journey. And I've been, trying to get it into golfers' pockets. I feel like it's a product that like a lot of people are like, do I really need that? Or
Right.
not. But I feel like once you get it in your pocket and you use it and you have it in your pocket for a round, you're like, man, it really helps me and it helps my game and helps just the round go a little bit smoother. And it's,
Yep.
if you love Jordans, it's the elephant print is sick, so
It's perfect. I actually last year I was wearing, I put so I was a basketball player my whole life, sneakerhead as well, Jordans. I wore the Concords for my wedding, just to give you
nice,
an idea.
nice.
So,
Okay.
um, last year I had a bunch of Jordans I haven't been wearing. I did play hoop in a couple of them, so they weren't, dead stock or anything like that. So I was like, all right, what am I going to do with these? I'm 40 years old. I'm really not going to be playing basketball too much anymore. What
Yeah.
can I do? So I started playing golf about 5, 6 years ago. And then I heard about
Okay.
golf kicks. So I was like, all right, let me check
Yeah.
these out. I heard good reviews, bad reviews, whatever. I
Hmm.
grabbed them. I threw them in a pair of my Fire Red 4s. I wore those all last year. And I was like, this is great because they're comfortable. I had
Nice.
the basketball. I'm like, all right, now I got a reason to use these sneakers that I'm not going to wear anymore. So I
Nice.
started doing that just because they were sitting there. But then I
Yeah.
seen one of my favorite pairs, the Elephant Print 3s. I mean, those are one of the top Jordans out there, besides, in my opinion, the Concords. But we'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, so like when I seen that on your page, I was like, oh man. And then the one with the ball marker and then the tee holder, that's like perfect for every golfer. You throw it in your back pocket right with your glove, boom, you grab everything you need right there because you're going to put your glove in your pocket when you go to putt. So you're
Hmm.
going to grab that out of your pocket, put your ball marker down. I mean, the creativity of what you did is awesome. It really is. I mean, it's
Thank
something
you.
I think every golfer could use. Like there's
Thank you.
not even just sneakerhead golfers. There's other designs you have that aren't, sneaker based. So you could totally go that route as well. But I think it's definitely a good little route that you're going down, man.
Thank you,
I
man.
haven't seen anything else like it. I can put it that way. I haven't seen anything else like it.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm always trying to, give utility, functionality, and combining that with leather. I just love leather, the way leather ages as you use it,
Hmm.
It wears, it patinas. Every scratch has a story to it, so
Yep.
and my goal is to have it last a lifetime for whoever buys it, I hope it lasts you a whole lifetime and you carry it with you every round that you play. So
Yeah.
yeah.
How'd you get into leather work? That's an interesting Interesting field to get into. How'd you get into that?
Um, I saw some stuff on like YouTube a long time ago, and I was just like, I always love making stuff with my hands.
Okay.
And I was like, this seems pretty cool. So I experimented making like wallets. My wallets were so ugly, bro. Like when I first did it, my stitching was terrible. Um, I was just like, what the hell? I spent all this money on all these tools, and but I just kept grinding and kept making stuff, and I would just give stuff out to people, like my friends and family. I'm like, hey, here's this keychain, here's this and that, and yeah, it's just something that I would uh, just come back to, because there was a long time where I didn't really do leather because I was going to school, starting
Sure.
a family and stuff like that.
Yep.
But it was just something that I always came back to. Like I just love making stuff with my hands, and I love having like a vision and
Yeah.
like seeing it in my head and then creating like a paper prototype and then making that first prototype and then being like, yo, this works. This it looks good, and then like actually making it and then refining it, like adding little things to it. And I'm a perfectionist. I try to make it as perfect as I can.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's
And
still a
that's the thing
journey.
too.
I'm still
You're
learning.
doing it. You're doing it by hand, so there's going to be imperfections, which gives it the character as well. Like obviously, machine's going to make it. It's going to make it perfect 9 out of 10 times. But
Hmm.
someone, you know, there's going to be imperfections in something handmade. But you're also most of the time when something's handmade, I personally feel like you're going to get a better quality product as well.
Oh,
Um,
for sure, for sure.
that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I follow a lot of guys on Instagram, and some of the stuff they make is just amazing. Like I love watching those process videos of them, like, doing the whole process. It's just kind
Yep,
of like therapeutic for me at times. And then I'm like, oh,
absolutely.
I gotta go and do my thing now, so
I find myself watching those like painting videos where they're just splashing the paint at the wall, and then on 30 seconds later they got like a Kobe Bryant picture or something. I'm like,
yeah,
how'd you
yeah,
do? I didn't see that until it was finished. How'd you do that? That's
yeah,
stuff like
yep.
that is just like wow, satisfying for sure. Um, so you just started golfing. What got you to get out there and start hitting the links?
So one of my best friends, he's a golfer, and he would always, like talk about it. He would post on it, and I was like, that's pretty cool, but like, I got a family, I got a job, like I don't have 4 hours to go, golf.
Yep.
And then one day I was just making stuff, trying to figure out what to do with my leather business. And then I asked him, I'm like, hey, uh, what's something that I can make for you? And he was like, like a little tea holder, So I was asking him questions about that. And then one of my other friends, he started posting about golfing, and then I just, was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, just come on out, bro. Like, just, come hang out, chill. And that's kind of what got me to do it. Like,
Yep.
because, there's so much that I didn't know about golf. I'm like, I was kind of intimidated. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Sure. Yeah.
And then having him be able to kind of like show me the ropes and like tell me the do's and do nots and the etiquette.
Yeah.
Um, that definitely helped me feel a lot better and more comfortable to try to go golfing and try to spend time to learn it.
Yeah, that's one of those games too. Like I played baseball, basketball, football my whole life, and I was a baseball player. I batted left-handed, so
Hmm.
I didn't have any lefty golf clubs. So I had to teach myself righty,
Okay.
and
Wow.
it was a process in itself to just figure out. Like I switched hit a little bit in baseball, but maybe like 5, 10 times my whole life.
Hmm.
Nothing to where I was going to hit a home run batting right-handed. So it literally up until last year, I really had no power from the right side. I was hitting.
Hmm.
I'm 6'2", about 190 pounds. I should have been hitting the ball a lot further than 220.
Hmm.
Um, so just this past year, I finally started doing it, and I mean, it made a huge improvement in my game. I was about an 18 handicap, got it down to about a 13, 12, 5, 13 towards the end of the year. But I was in the same boat as you, man. Like I went out there just to hang out. All my friends were doing it. I want to go hang out
Yeah.
with the guys. I want to go.
Yeah.
I got a little one, so the free time I have to go hang out with the guys, if they're at the golf course, well, that's kind of where I got to go hang out with the guys.
Yeah.
So, and same thing, all my buddies, they all have families and everything else. So, like, we don't have a lot of free time to go and do stuff.
Hmm.
And that snowballed into that. And then, same thing, I kind of just with the podcast, we play with the same 8 guys every Sunday. I wanted to do a
Nice.
podcast. I didn't know if I was going to do it, college football. I'm a big college football guy. So I was thinking about going that route, or I'm a conspiracy guy. So I was going to go that way. And I was like, what? Golf is easy. I'll always have content. I won't have to do research. I won't have to sit down and watch games. I'm playing with the guys. We're just out there bullshit, having a good time, whatever we're doing out there. And It just gave me something to talk about. So I started talking to my phone one day. I just took a chance. Same way you did with the leather. You just start
Yeah.
making something, you see what happens. If it doesn't go
Yeah.
nowhere, it doesn't go nowhere. But no matter what, you're
Yeah.
having fun doing it. You know, it's all
Yes,
about a
sir.
passion. And like you said, you kept going back to it. Like I had
Hmm.
3 or 4 of these things recorded before I released the first one, and I was nervous wreck about it. I was like, oh, I'm gonna get made fun of. You know, I'm not really an outspoken person like behind the scenes guy. I am, but I'm not at the same time. Like in my circle, I am, but like
Hmm.
in different groups of people, I'm pretty shy actually. But now this is just giving me a whole different outlook on things. I'm networking with everybody. You know, I mean, I got
Nice.
so many people I deal with out in California, especially. Like, do you ever hear like the Legends Golf Crew or Four Left or any of those guys?
I watched a couple of your podcasts, and yeah, I'm actually from the IE, and I was like, oh,
Okay.
sick. I'm actually really interested in them. I want to link up with them.
Oh yeah,
I
I'll
saw
get you
that they
linked up with
just
them.
yeah, I saw that they just had a tournament um, this past weekend. I was like, oh man, that's so cool.
Yep, yep.
Um,
So
I
my man Omar from the Custom Rag, he's also hangs out with those guys all the time. He
okay,
pops out at their events. So I can definitely hook you up with Michael at Legends and see if get you over there, do a little pop up tent or something with some of your products.
yeah, that'd be dope.
I'll plug you up. Me and Michael got some things we're working on with my California. I've been having success out in California. I don't know if it's the cannabis side of it or whatever the case may be. So I'm rocking with it, man. I'm jealous though. I
Yeah,
see all you guys out there golfing, and I'm sitting here and freezing my ass off too. So
yeah.
it's tough. Now Jordans, or just sneakers in general. What drew you to become a sneakerhead? What was that first sneaker that you were like, oh, I'm hooked?
Oh man. So growing up, like my family wasn't really rich. We didn't have a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
I always loved J's, like, but I didn't really get um my first like sneaker, like where I was like, oh, those are sick,
Yep.
until like Dunks started getting popular.
Okay.
So my first pair was these pair of gray Dunks. I really wanted SBs, but I couldn't get the SBs. So
Yep.
it was a regular pair of gray Dunks, and I think this goes back to me and making stuff with my hand.
Yeah.
I actually cut up the tongue, I stuffed it so it had the fat tongue.
Yep.
I sewed it back up and then changed out the laces and stuff, and I was like, I got me a sick pair of Dunks.
Hell
And
yeah.
eventually, as I got started making money and stuff, my I got a pair of sevens, the Olympic sevens.
Yep.
Those are one of my first pairs, and then like after high school, man, it kind of just like died off because I was like, I got bills to pay
Priorities,
out.
man. There's
I'm
priorities in life.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
I got weed to buy. Like I can't.
Yeah.
And then just recently I started getting back into it, so I'm starting to like these reimagines are so dope, like the threes, the ones, the fours that just dropped. I'm trying to scoop them all up because those were my childhood. Like I coveted them, but I could never have them,
Right.
because they were just a little bit out of my price range. But life's a lot better now, and I'm able to get approval from the wifey. I'm like, yeah, can I pick these up? And she's
Yeah.
like, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And it's crazy too, because like I'm 40, so I don't know how old you
Mhm.
are. I'm 40 years old. So like back in the day when I was getting Jordans and stuff, like I remember the original Cool Gray release. It was a
Yeah,
Tuesday. I was a
yeah.
sophomore in high school. I couldn't even drive yet. My
Hmm.
mother wrote me a note that I had a doctor's appointment, so I could go wait at the mall at 7 a.m. to go get these sneakers. You better believe I was one of the first people to walk in school at 11 o'clock with my fresh Cool
Nice,
Grays on.
nice. Yep.
So like that, like I was, my parents, like my mother definitely like I'd always have to work or do something to earn those sneakers. It was never like, oh, here you go, kind of thing. Like, oh, you got to do
Hmm.
this or your grades or whatever the case may be. There was always an incentive to it. But if I wanted them, I did whatever that damn incentive was to go get them. Especially the cool grays. I'd have to say
Nice.
my favorite all time were the Concords though.
Yeah.
Um, those like once you put them on, man, there was just something different about those sneakers. Hooping in them, I didn't actually hoop in those. I played in the cool grays and then the Columbia 11s as well.
Nice, nice.
Those were like because that was like '96. That was like peak Jordan. That was like
Yeah.
the prime of when I was really getting into hoop, like in a serious
Awesome.
level with the travel basketball and stuff. But those and then the playoff 12s were always a favorite of mine.
Mm.
I always liked it because they're just the same thing, simple, black and white, clean
Yeah.
look. You can wear them with anything. Those were
Yeah.
two of my top things. Um, what are some things you got coming? You got anything special coming up or any new releases you got coming up?
Um, I just released some scorecard holders that are
Okay.
pretty sick. they're the classic, the black with the elephant print.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I have this that I wanted to send you. Uh, these guys right here.
Okay.
So, bam. I don't know if you roll J's, but
Hell yeah.
they hold your papers in there. So,
That's
and
perfect, bro.
you got a little rolling surface here. So you're in the cart, you got a little surface to roll.
Yo, I hope all the pitch putt and puff people are watching that because that's perfect for every pitch putt and puff golfer right there, for
Yeah,
sure. Because you don't
yeah.
know how many times too. Where's my papers? Where's this? What kind of? You're looking for an old scorecard to break up and roll up
Yes,
on, and
sir.
there's
Yes,
nothing.
sir.
That's
Yep,
perfect, dude. That's sick.
yep. Thank you,
Yeah,
man.
but that's see, that's what I mean. You're just being creative with it to where you find an avenue or something, and then you go. That's perfect, dude.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
thing.
when you reached out, I saw your name. I was like, oh, it's on. I gotta hit him up.
Yep.
I've been smoking weed since I was like 14, bro. Like it's
Okay.
yeah. I'm not a big drinker. I don't really drink,
Same.
Weed's kind of my thing. I can just smoke it and then it's just that creativity flows and,
Yep.
get the munchies,
You
knock
don't wake
out.
up. You don't wake up feeling like shit. You can still be
Yes, sir.
productive the next day. I mean, every
Yes,
once in
sir.
a while you take too many gummies or something, you might wake up with a little weed hangover. But
Yeah,
same
yeah.
thing. Like I didn't start smoking until I was pretty much out of high school, 17, 18. But then as I got older, it just became like I'm in New York. It just became legalized a couple years ago, about a year and
Mm-hmm.
a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. So now it's like all of a sudden, all the people who were closet smokers, they're all
Yeah.
happy about it. They're like, oh, look at us. They're at the dispensaries. They're doing this and that. I mean, to
Yeah.
some people, it's still like I've had just today, because I network all the time, trying to get guests on, just planning ahead, trying to get the name out. And I've
Mm-hmm.
had three companies, I've never had no's before. And I had three companies today hit me with a no because of the cannabis side. And I
Oh,
get it
wow.
because some of them are bigger and they deal with like the junior golf and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I
Yeah.
get it. I have another avenue that I can push those guys to and get them on like with up because I co-host the Upstate Golf guys as well with Anthony and Mike. So
Mm-hmm.
people like that, I still like I appreciate their product, so I don't want to not give them the opportunity to promote it.
Mm-hmm.
I have them jump on over there. So like with the cannabis, it's a niche that like there's 420 golf pages and stuff like that, but like
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to be something different and just kind of get in that network, get in that lane, and kind of do the best I can with it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if you follow like Cypress Hill or Be Real or any of those guys out there.
No.
We don't smoke the same podcast. I've had XG. He's a big guy out there. He's in the conspiracy world. He's big
Mm.
Instagram. And then I'm looking to have the host of the show, E-Zone, on hopefully in the future here. So like I'm trying to use the avenues I have with that to get my name out in the cannabis side as well. Because there's golfers. Everybody golfs. I mean, every time you're on the golf course, you smell pot. There's just
Yeah.
every time. So
Yeah.
there's no hiding it at all. Um, but yeah, that thing's really dope, man. That little joint roller. That's a
Thank
really
you.
creative idea, dude. That's a
Thank you.
great idea.
Yeah.
For,
I'm always
for
I'm always losing my papers. My little papers
always.
end up all, wrinkled and stuff.
Yep.
And so I'm like, let's whip something up and, you know, uh,
Yeah. Or you throw them in the bottom of the golf bag, and then the water leaks on them, and then the
yeah, yeah.
shot, and then like, oh, that's my last paper, and it's soaking wet, or it's red.
Yep.
It happens all the time, man. That's awesome. So the the scorecard holders. That's the one you got the elephant print on those. I think I just seen you post that the other day.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
your website's on what, Etsy? I see.
So I have a website, www.teetimeleather.com.
Okay,
And then I also have a Etsy shop. So
okay,
whichever avenue.
gotcha. Now, is there like, say, someone wanted something you don't have, but they wanted it custom made? Would you do stuff like that as well?
Yeah, yeah. I get a lot of people that will DM me for
Hmm.
custom stuff. I love working with people, so just hit me up, send me some pictures, some inspiration of what you want, and we'll figure a way to get what you want. So yeah.
So, all right, here's the questions for you. What I'm thinking about while we're sitting here talking. What about like bag, like a golf, like a bag tag? You know, how people used to have the tag on their bag of like what club they're a member of or something like that.
I
Could you do
got you,
something?
bro. I got you, bro. I'll be right back.
All right, bet. Look at that. Look at that. Plugging business right here as we go into pitch putt and puff. That's so funny. Let's see what we got here. Once again, while we're waiting for them to come back, make sure everybody checks out 420 Bliss, located at 740 Hoosick Road. Shout out to Ty and Company. Also, I want to take a quick second and shout out my man Garrett over at the Hit Kit with the custom pitch putt and puff hit kits. Perfect for the golf course as well. You roll up to 2 joints on the sheet. with the leather, put them in your holder, you're good. Let's see what he's got here. He's coming back with something creative. He got real excited when I mentioned the bag tags. Let's see what we got.
Sorry, I should have had all this prepared,
No,
but
you're good, man. You're good. It's all good.
so I've been working on these. I have a little loop here, but
Yeah. Oh,
if you're
hell yeah.
yeah, so I got that
Those are
going.
dope.
It pairs perfectly if you're a traveler.
Oh, hell yeah.
You get the passport holder.
That's a great idea. See,
Yes,
man,
sir.
just finding reasons to use them. That's the smart thing about it. It's not just a scorecard holder. You're finding other reasons to use them.
Yes, sir.
People
And
could use it as a check. I mean, no one really writes checks no more, but maybe some OG that used to rock the Jays wants a checkbook for him. Boom, there you go.
yeah. I've had a lot of people hit me up and they're like, bro, that is perfect. And so yeah, like if you want something custom made, just hit me up and we'll figure something out.
That's awesome. Yeah, very responsive on it. Once I hit you up, I mean, within an hour or so, you hit me right back. So I appreciate that for sure. Man, I really appreciate your time. If you have anything coming up that you want to shout out real quick, or just let the people know where they can find you, I mean, I definitely, if you have anything coming up big in the future, you want to hop back on, I'd love to get you on with the Upstate Golf guys as well. We do work together, but it's totally different audiences, so it's a good outreach, and a bunch of guys in the Golfer Gang Network I can get you set up too, just to help you get the exposure, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'm like an introvert in real life. I don't really talk to people.
I'm the same, bro.
Um, yeah, and you know, Mulligans and Hackers reached out to me and took a chance to do it, and got to link up with you. So I'm super
Yep.
happy, and I'm honestly just so happy that I can combine uh, golfing, sneakers, and making leather stuff, and you know, um, I don't know, the golfing community is so cool. Like I was so worried about like being a single golfer going out as a solo.
Yep.
But every time I've golfed, bro, it's been amazing. We end up being like best friends, and it's super cool. So
That's it,
I'm
and
just I'm just happy.
that's how I meet, so many people. Like I said, when I first started golfing, I was so bad. Like I was afraid to go to the course I'm now a member at that plays 6 days a week. I was afraid to go there. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm so bad. I'm gonna go to the first tee box, and I was literally like worried about swinging and missing at that point. I was like, this is nerve wracking. Everybody's up there watching you. So I was like, all right. Then I finally like started going with my buddies a little bit. But then I would just be like, all right, I got nothing to do today. I'm gonna go play golf. I'd call my buddy at the pro shop. Yeah, I can get you out, but you're gonna have to go out with a threesome. All right,
Hmm.
whatever. And I would
Yeah.
go out and same thing. But then those are the guys I started golfing with, and I joined a league with, and now I
Hmm.
see them every Friday. We're out there golfing. So I mean, you can make a lot of cool relationships on the golf. I mean, they always say 90% of business is done on a golf course. So there's a lot
Yeah,
of cool things that can happen on a golf course, man.
for sure. I can see that, and
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of see people's personalities too,
Yep,
how they
their
deal
real,
with.
their true personality. Yep,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah, you can see how they deal with like the ups and downs of it and everything else, because that's probably how they handle most situations in life too, with the frustrations of the golf game,
Hmm.
for sure. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But dope having you on, dude. This is awesome. We'll definitely link up again soon. Like I said, if you got anything big coming up, and once again, tell them where they can find you.
TeeTimeLeather.com.
Awesome, man. Once again, Kai, I appreciate your time, man. We'll link up again soon. Make sure you guys check him out. Also, your Instagram is TeeTimeLeather.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, check that out as well. Give him a follow. Anything custom you need, anything Jordan, go check him out. Appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Roger. Appreciate
Take
you.
care.